Ram Ramji, Namaskar, good morning. This is Chaudhary Pawan Sohlot and you are watching Mission IT Education.
Welcome to Amity University's postgraduate diploma in cybersecurity course. I'll be your instructor for the first module. I'm Mishal, and the first module is cybersecurity building blocks. Just to talk a bit about myself, I started my career as a web developer initially and then switched to cybersecurity. I'm specializing in application security. And regarding my degrees, I have done BCA or have also done MSc in cybersecurity. Let's get into our content for the first module. Initially, the first thing, as you can see, the module 1 cybersecurity building blocks contains these topics. The first one is introduction to cybersecurity. In introduction to cybersecurity, we will cover what cyberspace is. We'll see what actually cybersecurity is, what is the need of cybersecurity and importance of it. All those basic things we'll be covering in introductions of cybersecurity. Then comes is threats and vulnerabilities. In threats and vulnerabilities, we'll discuss about what different threats and vulnerabilities. We'll try to understand what is that narrow line of difference between different threats. And we'll also discuss about different types of hackers and all those common terms. Then the third topic is cybersecurity breaches. In this topic, we'll try to understand what is the actual need of cybersecurity, because we'll be discussing about different breaches which has already had a major impact on cybersecurity issues. All those breaches which are able to create a major impact. Okay. Then in the fourth topic, we'll be discussing about what penetration testing is, what is vulnerability assessment, and different types of penetration testing, methodologies of penetration testing, and different phases. And most of the part of penetration testing phases will be showing you hands-on, like what is done in scanning phase, what is done in information gathering phase, what is done in enumeration phase, exploiting, and then covering racks, all those phases. That will be a major hands-on module we'll be covering. Then the next topic is frameworks and standards of cybersecurity. Now, at this point, we'll switch to management part of cybersecurity. These frameworks and cyber standards for cybersecurity basically means certain rules or certain policies, like this should be done, that should not be done, a management level. It will be less technical thing. Okay, we'll come to that. Cybersecurity practices. Then finally, we'll be covering introduction to cybersecurity risk management, roles and responsibilities. In this final topics, we'll be covering what is ISO 27K and what is NIST 800 and all those things. Fine? Okay. So that is the basic overview of things which we will be covering in our module. Let's get into our next topic, that is threats and vulnerabilities. Now, these are the objectives of this topic. We'll discuss about types of hackers. We'll discuss malicious codes and terminologies, and case study of malware attacks. Let's get into types of hackers. Now, it is essential to stay aware and vigilant to protect yourself from cyber threats and different types of hackers who may use even the smallest vulnerability in your system against you, isn't it? See, it's not only to prevent yourself. For example, you might have heard people saying that no, something is not safe, so I will not use it. Internet is not safe, so I will not use it, isn't it? That's not the way it should be. Like, people should be made aware what it is, how to use internet securely, how people should be made aware so that they can understand which is a scam and which is not a scam. isn't it? That is the point where need of cybersecurity awareness comes in, isn't it? Let's talk about different types of hackers. Now, we are talking about these terminologies and all because when you get into profession or when you're in this field of cybersecurity, people will be seldom referring to these terms and these types of hackers and all. So you need to understand that. That's why reason we are discussing all these different types of hackers and all. So black hat hacker, white hat hacker, gray hat, hacktivist, script kiddies, and many more. We'll be discussing about each of them in detail and we'll try to understand what is the narrow line of difference which categorizes them. Let's get into the first one, that is black hat hackers. A black hat hacker is the type of hacker you should be worried about because they are malicious. If you have heard a news about any cybercrime happened or any cybersecurity issues which has happened, maybe a black hat hacker might be behind it. So who are these black hat hackers? These hackers look for vulnerabilities in individual PC, organization and bank system. They use any loopholes they may find. They can hack into your network and get access to your personal, business and financial information. While their agenda may be monetary most of the time, it's not always just that. So basically, they are a malicious hackers who have a bad intention, who doesn't have any permission to attack or permission to test a system. So like they do everything illegal. All those, these black hat hackers are the major criminals in cybersecurity. Next thing is white hat hackers. Now, white hat hackers, also known as ethical hackers, are the cybersecurity experts who help the government and other organizations by performing penetration testing. What is penetration testing? We'll come to it. And identify loopholes in their cybersecurity. They even do other methodologies and ensure protection from black hat hackers and other malicious cybercrimes. So basically, white hat hackers always have a good intention and they do everything legally. Now, to simply state it, these are the right people who are on your side. They will hack into your system with the good intention of finding vulnerabilities and help you make your system more secure. Now the third type of hackers, that is gray hat hackers. Gray hat hackers fall somewhere in between white hat and black hat hackers. While they may not use their skills for personal gain, they can, however, have both good and bad intentions. For instance, a hacker who hacks into an organization and finds some vulnerability may leak it over the internet or inform the organization about it. So these are the two things he can do. He can inform the organization about it or he can leak the data over the internet, isn't it? So whichever, a gray hat hacker can choose both, depends. There is a fine line between these two. So let me make it simple for you because a gray hat hacker doesn't use his skills for personal gain. He is not a black hat hacker. Also because he is not legally authorized to hack the organization cybersecurity. I repeat, because he is not legally authorized to hack the organization cybersecurity, he cannot be considered a white hat hacker either. So let me put it into two. Consider two things. One is permission and second thing is intention. For a black hat hacker doesn't have permission to do hacking, his intention is also bad. Whereas a white hat hacker has a permission to do that and his intention is always good. When we consider gray hat hacker doesn't have permission to do it, but his intentions are good. That's clear. On the basis of intention and permission, we can classify black hat, white hat and gray hat. Okay, so we have covered white hat hacker, gray hat hacker and black hat hacker. Those are the most important three categories of hackers, but it's not over yet. Next thing is script kiddies. We have more types of hackers and script kiddies is also a type of hacker. Now, these hackers, these script kiddies usually download tools or use available hacking codes, already written codes, which is written by other developers and other hackers. The primary purpose of them is to impress their friends or family. They don't know hacking, but what they do is they copy others' codes, they use tools developed by other hackers, and using that they show off in front of friends that they hacked this thing, they are pro, they are hackers and all. So those type of hackers are known as script kiddies. However, these script kiddies don't care about learning. By using these off-shelf codes and tools, these hackers, they launch attacks without bothering about the quality of the attack. By the quality of attack, I mean what would this attack actually cause? Would they be gaining some information? Would they be gaining some passwords or some kind of breaches, obtaining breaches? They won't bother about that. They just launch the attack. They don't know what will happen, what are the consequences of that. So most of the attacks done by script kiddies are usually either DOS attack or DDoS attack. DOS is denial of service, DDoS is distributed denial of service. So basically they launch attack, and as a result what happens is their target, the service get denied. Okay, we'll explain more what DOS or DDoS is. And next type of hacker is green hat hacker. Now these are less important ones. Okay, as I told, black, white and gray, and the script kiddies is also somewhat important, but this one is just for the sake of saying. Consider these green hat hackers, consider them as script kiddies, but with a small difference. These newbies have a desire to become a full-blown hackers and are very curious to learn. These green hat hackers are curious to learn, unlike script kiddies. We may find them engrossed in the hacking communities, bombarding their fellow hackers with questions, how it is done, what is it that, what is the concept. They have a very good desire to learn. And as I said, we can identify them by their spark to grow and learn more about hacking. So those are known as green hat hackers who have a desire to learn, but they are not yet hackers. Next type of hacker is blue hat hacker. Now these are another form from novice hacker, much like script kiddies, whose main agenda is to take revenge on anyone who makes them angry. So these blue hat hackers are hacking for a revenge. They have no desire for learning and may use simple cyber attacks like flooding your IP with overloaded packets, that is known as DOS, denial of service, which will result in DOS attacks. A script kiddie with a vengeful agenda can be considered as blue hat hacker. So we can state it like that. A script kiddie which has a vengeful agenda is not as a blue hat hacker, whereas a script kiddie which has a desire to learn can be known as green hat hacker. Okay. Now the next type of hacker is red hat hackers. Red hat hackers have an agenda similar to white hat hackers, which in simple words is halting the acts of black hat hackers. So to defend against black hat hackers, we have white hat hackers and also we have red hat hackers. But what's the difference between red hat and white hat? Both are operating against black hat. Let's see what's the difference. The major difference is the way they operate. They are ruthless when it comes to dealing with black hat hackers. So white hat hackers, when they deal with black hat hackers, they don't harm black hat hackers. They only fix the vulnerability, or they try to find the vulnerabilities before black hat hackers tries to find the white hat hackers. Okay. Whereas the red hat hackers are ruthless against these black hat hackers. Instead of reporting a malicious attack like white hat hackers do, red hat hackers believe in taking down the black hat hackers completely. Red hat hacker will launch a series of aggressive cyber attacks and malware on the hacker that the hacker may as well have to replace the whole system. So it's like they harm black hat hackers. That's what red hat hackers is. But their intention is to secure it. They are on the good side, but aggressive towards the black hat hackers. So next type of hacker is a state or nation sponsored hacker. A state or nation sponsored hacker are those who have been employed by their state or nation's government to snoop in and penetrate through all security to gain confidential information from other governments to stay at top online. So basically, the countries, when cyber war happens, we have to gather intelligence of other country, the enemy country and all. So in that case, we need to deploy hackers for that. So these type of hackers are known as state or nation sponsored hackers. They have an endless budget. Obviously, they are sponsored by state or nation, so they have an endless budget and extremely advanced tools at their disposal to target individuals, companies, or rival nations. So basically, they will have all sort of permissions. They will have even if they do illegal things, they will have support of all the authorities. Authorities will give them all the information which normally hackers won't get. So they have an enormous resource and funding too. Next type of hackers is known as hacktivists. Hacktivist is a hacker or a group of anonymous hackers. Means they are hidden, they won't socialize, who think they can bring about social changes and often hack government and organization to gain attention or share their displeasure over opposing their line of thought. So what basically that means is, normally people conduct protests, they come on roads, they organize rallies and all to gain attention, attention towards their thought. So hacktivists are similar group of people, but they try to gain attention by hacking websites and all. They hack popular government websites, they deface it. That's the term we use. They deface the websites. The landing page, the home page is replaced by some pictures, logo. You might have seen that many times. Many times it has been in news. So basically, if they are protesting against something implemented by government or maybe a group, something, these are the people who deface those web pages and show their protest and in this cyber way. So these people are known as hacktivists. Next is malicious insider or whistleblower. A malicious insider or whistleblower may be an employee with a grudge or a strategic employee compromised or hired by rivals to garner trade secrets of their opponents to stay on top of their game. Understood, right? A rival company, maybe in business, they hire an employee which is having grudge towards his own company, leaking information to its rival company for his own financial gain or something, or for his grudge. That's what a malicious insider is. Another name for this same person is whistleblower. These hackers may take privilege from their easy access to information and their role within the company to hack the system. So basically, a trusted employee of an organization leaking out information outside, which he is not supposed to do. That's basically what malicious insider or a whistleblower is. And all those things. Fine? Okay. So that is the basic overview of things which we will be covering in our module.